I don't really know what to say now. I'm like really on a roll, and I'm sort of struggling now that I've got like a whole list of topics I could talk about. I mean, I could continue talking about school, but pretty much the entirety of my conversations with people about my school years just sort of revolve around school was shit, I was an idiot, I learned from my mistakes, and now I'm a better person for it. You know, and that's sort of where the conversation ends, because that's pretty much all that happened. I was a dick in high school. I didn't learn. I didn't listen. And I'm a better person now than I was then. A way better person. I mean, you know, I'm at that point now where I can easily say that if I was given a second chance, I would do it all over again and actually learn. But unfortunately, that's not possible. So yeah. But I suppose I could go back to talking about my childhood though, and you know, the holidays I had, because I've got some really cool stories about holidays that I went on as a kid. Like I said earlier, obviously I've been to like every seaside in the south of England, and I've pretty much come to the conclusion that like the entirety of South England is the same like town, just copied and pasted over and over again. Because if you actually go to South England and you like go all the way along from like, you know, one corner to the other, it's literally the same town over and over again. You know, a beach town with a beach. You know, a seaside, like a bunch of or a seaside theme park. Sorry, a whole bunch of shops full of like, you know, all the beach stuff that you get, all the beach gear. You know, seaside fish and chip shops and stuff. Pretty much every English seaside is the same, is what I'm trying to say. So, the interest in English seasides is sort of dwindled. But I guess if there's one good story that I can talk about with going to southern seasides here in England, is that there's one seaside that stands out as the seaside I've been to the most, which is Hastings. If you've never heard about Hastings, I suggest you look it up. It's a quaint little seaside town. That's not quaint at all. It's just as busy as the rest of them. But there's one interesting thing about Hastings, which I can't really say for any other seaside area I've been to in the UK, which is that there's this one area, right? Basically, Hastings is made up of sort of three things for me. The town of Hastings, you know, all the shops and everything, and the seaside theme park and everything, and the beach. The beach is the second thing. The beach is the second thing. You know, it's made up of all the seaside town, and then the beach, like you'd expect, and then there's a bunch of cliffs, right? Now you can go up to the top of the cliffs, and you can sort of walk around the top of these massive cliff areas and sort of look down on the beach, and it looks magnificent. I've got pictures somewhere, but I don't think I'm going to put them up because I don't think I'll be able to find them before I upload this. So, but just go and look for it on Google Images, Hastings, and I'm sure you'll find pictures of those cliffs eventually, and find pictures looking down from the cliffs on the beach. And I've seen that view more than once, looking down from those mountains. I've even got it on video somewhere of us on those sort of cliffs looking down, me running around being a nincompoop. But yeah, but that's not the interesting thing about Hastings though, because while I love those sort of cliffy areas and remember them quite well, there's one specific area I remember about Hastings, which is the sort of alcove area, the sort of cut-off beach, as I like to call it. There's sort of like a main beach, and then like there's an area where the beach meets the cliffs, and it's sort of an enclosed off area past a car park. And like lawfully, the last time I went, I don't think you're supposed to go on that beach, but people go there anyway, and I don't think like you know, the people who own the sort of area care too much. Because there's no one like regulating who can go near there or not. But every time I went there in the past, and this is the interesting thing, it was sort of the private area where I used to go to catch crabs, because it's a rocky beach rather than a sandy one. The rest of the beach in Hastings is made of sand, But that one little sort of secretive beach at the very corner of Hastings is made of pebbles. So there's sort of a sort of rocky area sticking out of the ground, and it's the one rocky area sticking out of the ground in the entirety of Hastings. It's about the size of a car, really. It's a fairly small rocky area, but it's the one area where crabs are just destined to be, and you will just constantly find crabs in there. Like, it's an endless supply of crabs for crab fishing. Not to mention that, you know, the beach is made of pebbles and rocks and stuff, so you can just lift up rocks and there'll be crabs and stuff. Also, the really cool thing about that beach is that there's an area right at the corner of it, which is why it's supposed to be restricted, which the cliffs have fallen down. And actually, when you walk onto the beach, there used to be a path going down to the beach, and that path is completely broken. It is completely broken. Like, the cliff fell on it years ago and just snapped it in two, and you actually have to climb down those rocks to get onto the beach. And it's like the coolest looking thing. It looks like at some point, like at the very, very corner of the beach, right, it looks like the whole cliff at one point just fell down into the ocean. And it looks so fucking awesome, because there's just a whole pile of rocks over there now. And it's just immense to look at as a kid. And it's been there since I was a kid. I imagine now that, of course, the cliff fell down at some point in the past. I would have been so cool to be standing like away from it and see it happen, though. It would have just been so awesome to see that cliff just fall down. Oh, another swig of Coke. Man. But yeah, that's the story from Hastings. In the same area, there's actually a completely restricted area up in the cliffs, right, where there's a set of caves in the cliffs. I've never actually been in there, and I've never been able to find camera footage or pictures of those caves, but they're completely blocked off to the public now. My brothers used to tell me that they went up there back when it wasn't blocked up, when they were kids, and it was basically just this small cavernous area where people used to go in and sleep in there and do the naughty with their girlfriends or boyfriends and all that, get drunk and all that good jazz. You know, my brothers would exaggerate things and just be like, oh yeah, there's like condoms and beer cans and shit all over the floor, and it's just like, oh great, okay, yeah, I probably don't want to go in there then. I'll probably contract an STD. That wouldn't be fun. But yeah, that's Hastings, and that's one childhood memory. I haven't been to Hastings in years. I don't think I'd want to go back, to be honest. I'm too old now for it to be fun for me. I've seen everything too many times and it's just boring. I want to see something new. My dad wants to take me to like Wales, to like Ben Nevis, which is a mountain in Wales, in North Wales. I said it'd be fun, maybe. I said to him at some point I'd like to climb a mountain, just so I can say I did it. I want to climb a mountain, like just go, like, work out and for maybe a year or so, and then just, I don't know, Mount Everest, I guess. So I'm on the list of people who climb Mount Everest. You know, wouldn't that be awesome though? That'd be absolutely amazing, just to be on that list. I know there's already like thousands of people on it, but like, just to be on that list would be an amazing thing to just look back on. Every time I'm feeling down, just be like, I climbed Mount Everest, you know. I fucking climbed Mount Everest. I have got no worries, you know. Just, that would be amazing. Could you, I mean, like, seriously though, could you actually imagine? Every time you feel down, you just remember back, wait a minute, I climbed Mount Everest, I can't feel sad. You know, just, it would be an automatic depression killer, you know? Just straight away, just, I climbed Mount Everest, go away depression, fuck you, you know? You know what, I always loved that noise that dolphin made, it's so cute. It's just, it sounds like, it sounds really weird now because it just sounds like one of those Japanese girls. You know, oh god. Ani-chan. Oh god. I'm not a weeboo. Weeboo, however it's pronounced. Oh god, I'm gonna get so much fucking hate from fucking anime fans. I don't watch anime, guys, so don't blame me for being a dick if I sound like one. The only anime I've ever watched is Death Note, and that's just simply because I was forced to watch it. Many people have suggested many other animes for me to watch, and I won't do it. No, I will not do it. No way, no how. No chance. At all. Also, look there, we're coming close to 100 notes here. I think we're at 90 now. Just waiting for a music note to get collected here. 91, there we go, yeah. 92, 93 music notes. Yeah, look at that. Amazing. Oh god, what's another childhood story I can share? Oh man, well, I mean, I've only shared the one about fucking Hastings, man. I should share the one about Devon. Devon was last year, right? And Devon was absolutely, like, amazing. Like, you know, I don't know if anybody out there can, like, relate on, you know, not wanting to go on a mass holiday, but just wanting to go on one of those relaxing holidays. You know, you've had a stressful year, you want to just sort of go somewhere fairly quiet and just relax and enjoy the scenery and stuff. You don't want to go anywhere too, like, busy or massive or anything. And Devon was that kind of holiday. I went with my dad, my eldest brother, and his girlfriend slash fiance. Yeah, we went for about a week, and it was amazing. It was an absolutely amazing experience. Like, it was just so calm. Like, I've never been on a holiday that was that absolutely calm and relaxing. We were right on a cliffside, in a caravan park. In fact, well, it wasn't a caravan park, it was more of a chalet park. Chalets are what we call, like, shed type caravans. They don't actually move. There were caravans in the park, but it was mostly made of, like, sheds. So they were just like these small sort of shed buildings where people stayed in. And we stayed in one because it's better than a caravan. And it had 2 rooms, one with a double bed and one with 2 single beds. Me and my dad slept in the room with the 2 single beds, and my brother and my basically my sister-in-law slept in the double bed. And it was a truly relaxing experience. I'll try and like explain it to you in a way that you guys might be able to sort of visualize for yourselves what it looked like. In fact, you know what? I'll try and find one of my pictures or video clips to put up here of the you know, the area, the general area. I'm a little bit afraid of putting this footage up, generally because of family being in the video, but I'll try and find something where it's just me looking like over the landscape or something and put it here. Imagine picking a video, it's fine. So yeah, it was beautiful. It was absolutely amazing, and that was just, you know, that's just the area where we stayed. Not to mention the sort of quaint little seaside areas surrounding it. There were like 3 towns surrounding that place that we stayed, and it was just really calm. It was one of the most calming experiences, like, because you know how seaside towns can be quite busy. Well, it wasn't dick busy, like where people just budge into you all the time and like don't care that you're trying to walk and stuff. You know, it was more like everybody was sort of, you know, having fun and looking out for each other and stuff. You know, basically just not England, or at least it felt like that anyway. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. It really was. It was an experience that I won't forget anytime soon. I think probably my favourite thing about Devon is going to have been the castles. Because when my dad said about, you know, going to see castles in Devon, at first I went, oh my god, that's boring. You know, but then I sort of realised, Oh wow, that looks like it hurt. Eventually I sort of realised, you know what, we're on a relaxing holiday here. That's probably one of the most relaxing things we can do, is go and see some castles. And you know what, it was brilliant. There was a castle we went to which I think is about 200 or 300 years old, and there was so much story behind it. We did like an audio tour, and I listened to every single one of the audio transcriptions on like the audio thing they gave me. And like, it was weird actually listening to it and learning the story of this place, because like it told such a magnificent story, you know. Basically, this house was apparently like, you know, one of the sort of big you know, wealthy houses in England a couple hundred years ago, and it was even in the early years was even visited by Queen Elizabeth I. She would travel around England and visit all of the sort of manors like that one, and she would even visit that one from time to time, but as she got too old she couldn't travel as far, so she couldn't get to that one. Obviously it's in a state of disrepair. It's fucking maybe a few hundred years old, but it's literally just walls now. The whole castle is wall. In fact, I've got a picture for that too, actually. Let me see if I can. There we go. I think that's, yeah. But it's just like, it's magnificent to actually listen. Like, I actually suggest to you, next time you go to like a sort of big castle that's like a few hundred years old and it's got one of those audio tour things, listen to it, because genuinely you will find that these castles have such amazing stories and histories and backgrounds, you know. Royals visiting them and magnificent, you know, sort of audio visualization of what the castle looked like in its prime, you know. There were like visual representations of what the, you know, around the castle, what the rooms would have looked like back when the castle was actually, you know, the manor was still, you know, in full bloom, shall we say. And I don't know, it just sort of, it blows the mind, really, how something so beautiful and magnificent can sort of fall into such a state of disrepair. But I guess that's time for you. Time just fades everything, I guess. But yeah, that's my favourite part of my holiday last August.
Trying to come up with things to talk about. Like, I'm just sort of maxing, relaxing, and, you know, chilling, all cool, you know, shooting some b-ball outside of the school, and a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighbourhood. I got in one little fight, and my mum got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air."